Hi, welcome to Solveig's Hearth. My name is Barbara Hernandez. I'm also known as Solveig Sigolf's daughter in the SCA. The SCA is the Society for Creative Anachronism, which is a worldwide educational group that teaches about medieval history pre-1700s. This series has several different purposes. First of all, I want to introduce people to the variety of things that I'm really interested in and show them that it's not hard to cook over the open fire, and it's really exciting sometimes to learn something new. It's not scary. Another thing, I really enjoy the SCA, and I want to share that with as many people as I can. And many people call this the dream. And for a while, I had lost the sight of the dream, and it has now been rekindled in me. So I'm really excited to share the dream with as many people as I can.
So, Solveig, what else are we going to learn about besides cooking over an open fire?
As you hear the voice, let me introduce my very good friend, actually best friend, Dame Maggie McKeith. She's going to be shooting the video and prompting me and asking, questions and helping me to prepare things so that I can give you a variety of things to learn and see and know about. So what else are we going to do? Well, we're going to learn how to make flatbread. We're going to make cheese. I would like to make some cloaks because I have some younger friends that have shown an interest in doing that. I'll talk about fire management. I can talk about cooking in clay because it is a little bit different than cooking in cast iron or other types of materials. Also, I want to show you how I cook in the modern day sometimes, and then show you the same recipe over the fire.
I think that sounds great. Now, I noticed that we're sitting in front of a lot of lovely, luscious green things. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, this is my herb garden gone wild. For 2 years I traveled with work and I wasn't at home to take care of my gardens, so they kind of went a little wild. I'm trying to get them under control, but that does take a little while. Currently I have a lot of mugwort growing. I have some thyme, I have sage, I have oregano, I have bee balm, I have lemon balm, I have marjoram, and I think that's about it for right now. Oh, chives and lavender.
Wow,
So I have a few things.
That is a variety.
I would like to add to my garden because I would like to grow some more medieval herbs.
Okay.
So that's something maybe we can talk about too, is in different areas of medieval Europe, what different things may have grown. And I'd like to cultivate some of those to see what it'd be like to cook with the actual herbs that they used in period. And what I'm sitting on right now is my actual hearth. So I put together this raised hearth. It's patterned off of a Viking hearth that they would have in the middle of a longhouse. And I like to roast out here and cook things and roast things. But again, it's been a while since I've been here, so even this needs a little bit of TLC.
Well, I am really looking forward to going on this journey with you and discovering more about your passions in the SCA and how you can make those approachable for other people.
I'm excited about that too. Thanks, Maggie. Today, I kind of want to give you an introduction to some of the pots and tools that I use to cook over the fire. I have collected quite a few things over the years. I might have a few more than this, and I just wanted to tell you about them. My very first pot was this one. It's a pipkin made by the wonderful Mistress Heloise de Brookstand, and I won it at an ANS competition. And I was so afraid to use it because I just thought I would put this on the fire and it would blow up. I've had this now for 7 to 10 years, I can't remember exactly, and I cooked in it many, many times, and it's held up really well. I've made little stews in it, I've made apples, I've made lots of different things in it, and it cooks really well. You can tell from the patina on it that it's been in the fire. Another one that I've cooked in recently is this nice little pot. It's got a nice coating on the inside so that the food cleans up very, very easily.
What did you cook in that?
I cooked a stew that had a variety of vegetables, had some oats in it, and I think actually a little bit of apple. So it was kind of a combination of everything that they had on hand, and I just kind of threw it all together and made a lovely stew. Or a pottage, some would call it, in period, because a pottage is basically just anything that you throw into the pot and cook. The nice thing about these is that they do really well on the fire. This pot is a very special pot. I don't know if you can tell, it's sparkly. Well, it has silica in the clay that was naturally occurring, which helps with thermal expansion. And what thermal expansion is when the clay gets hot, it will expand. And if you get it hot too quickly, it'll crack. And you never want to hear that ting or tick sound when you're cooking, because it probably means that your pot is cracked. And that happens even to the most experienced cooks. So this plate I cooked in one time, and you can tell it doesn't really have any wear on it, but it is very cracked across the bottom, and it must have had bubbles in the clay or something happened, because I did not put it on direct fire. I warmed it just like anything else, but it cracked. So that's a possibility with anything that you use on the fire. This is a soapstone pot, and in period they would have carved soapstone into pots like this to use to cook. It conducts heat very well and very evenly. This is a reproduction of an Anglo-Saxon bowl that Mistress Waltrudis gave me as a gift. And it's just such a beautiful, beautiful piece. I just love it so much. It's a joy to work with. I love my little metal fork. Not only do I use it to, skewer meat and do things like that, but it makes a really good lid lifter.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you think about it, when you cook over the fire, even the lid gets hot. This is one of my newest purchases. I haven't even used it yet, but it's a clay kettle so that I can boil water for different things, for washing or for making drinks or things like that.
That's beautiful.
This is my cheese making pot, and I will only use this for making cheese because the organisms from the milk get into the clay and help with the fermentation of the cheese.
Oh.
So this is a really special pot, and I've used it several times, including at Pennsic, to make cheese.
My favorite thing.
And this is a little basket that they would have used for straining curds through. They also used horsehair sieves to use to drain curds through, but they also did little baskets like this. It's just a beautiful example of a picture. I've got some very nice hand-carved spoons. This one's made out of apple wood, and it's so tiny and cute. I just love it. This one came from Ukraine, and a man hand-carved this. It's balsa wood. And this one was carved by my grandson in my backyard, and I don't know, he found a stick out in the woods. This is another new one for me, and it's very shallow. I'm going to use this for a frying pan.
Oh, nice.
And the other thing I can use it for, this is called a receipt, and I can put this over the top of this pan, and it acts as an oven. Not every household would have an oven, so they would have a receipt, and they would put their dough in here to cook over the fire, and then they could have risen bread, and not just flat bread.
And that one, I believe, we got at Pennsic.
Correct.
And the lady called it a curfew?
Oh, curfew, I'm sorry. I'm using the wrong name. See,
Because you're human.
So for some reason I thought it was a receipt. No, it's a curfew. Thank you so much. And the reason that my very best friend Maggie knows this is because she bought this for me, because she's amazing, and she knew I'd been looking for one of these for like the last 20 years, and I couldn't find one. So it's a curfew.
We were very excited when we
Yes.
found that one for sure.
And then this is actually a strainer for making cheese. And you strain the whey directly into a pitcher. So then you have a pitcher for your whey. And whey would be consumed just like milk. And in fact, they wouldn't really drink milk. They would drink whey because milk was used for the production of cheese and for butter. And then the leftover product then was consumed as a beverage. So that's just a brief tour of some of the pots and utensils that I have that I like to cook with. And you'll see me using these in future videos.
Can you tell us which, if you had to pick a favorite, which one of these is your favorite, or alternatively, what has been your favorite thing to cook using one of these? It's like picking a favorite child, isn't it?
Well, I have stories for almost all of them. This pot, I cooked a very special dish in. It was a lentil recipe that was translated by Duke Sir Caradoc. And originally I got to cook in his soapstone pot. And I was so inspired by that and how nicely that it cooked that I looked all over for one for myself. And so I will cook lentils in here like I cooked in his pot. So I always think fondly of him whenever I use this. I haven't used this one yet, but I'm really excited about this pot. I can't wait to use it. I have really fond memories of this pot because I used this one at a Cook's Collegium in St. Louis. And I just had such a wonderful time there. It was just a magical weekend. And so I have a lot of fond memories tied to that. And the stew turned out really good. I really do love this pot just because it was the first one that I got. And it was at an event that I went to not expecting the kindness that I received from the Laureate. It was a Laurel prize tourney. So you go there and the Laurels come through and they give you critique and guidance and I was really scared about it because I had stopped doing any A&S competitions or anything like that because I'd had such a bad experience at one time many years ago. The people that spoke to me were so kind, they were so encouraging, and I was so touched with winning the tournament or the prize tournament. It's just, this pot is really special to me, as well as the fact that Helway's made it. So, and then this one I have really fond memories of because we brewed fermented secondibin in it at Penzic. And if you've ever had secondibin, it's really good. But when it's fermented and bubbly, it's really, really good. And then, of course, the cheese pot. I've made so many good batches of cheese in here. I just love this pot. I made cheese at SCA 50 year over the fire. Like I said, at Penzic over the fire. I just really love this pot. And Mistress Waltrudis inspired me to get one like this because she has one like it too. So I have, I guess, a story for almost everything.
I like how so many of your stories, or so many of your pieces of pottery rather, are tied to memories and friends. It makes it that much more special. So.
And that's one of the really good things about cooking is that you can share it with so many different people. And the really wonderful thing about the SCA is that you make so many lifelong friends and they truly become your family. And I'll get all choked up about it, but it really is a wonderful organization.
Okay. Thank you so much, Solveig. I am looking forward to doing more of these with you and sharing your passion and knowledge with other folks.
Thank you.
And we'll see you all again soon.